Alright, I want to start this video apologising to all the people who don't know us, all the people who are supporting us via social media through subscribing to the YouTube channel, watching our videos, sharing the videos, liking things on Facebook and all of that. You guys don't know us, but you're responding to what we're producing. You like it enough to start interacting, and we really appreciate that support. This video is not for you, so I apologise in advance for what I'm about to subject you to. And I also apologise to all the people who are helping us get through some really tough stuff that we're dealing with in our lives. I don't want you to think that we're ungrateful, because the support that people are giving us, we really do appreciate it, because we so desperately need it. And for those of you who aren't doing anything to help us, because you've got your own issues in your lives, life's tough for a lot of people, and a lot of times people just don't have any extra to give, and so to you, this video isn't for you either. And for those of you who aren't doing anything at all to support us and don't think it's your place to, and you don't feel any call to, this video really isn't for you either. Because when I consider every single individual person, and I think, should they be doing more to help us? The answer is no. No, they shouldn't be doing more to help us. It'd be great if they did do more to help us, but it's not their responsibility. So who's this video for? While individually, I'm not angry or cross or disappointed in people individually, but as a group, I'm getting pretty sick of you. So what has brought this on? Well, I was in the chemist this morning, and I can't remember what the pharmacist said, but he said something, and I just burst into tears. And you often hear in mental health literature, memes, social media, whatever, that when you're desperate you should be asking for help, because there's always someone there. There's help available. I've been telling people that we're sinking for quite a while now, and I haven't been getting help. Or rather, we have been getting some help, but we're still sinking. And I don't know what else to do. I'm doing the best I can, and it's not good enough. It's just not good enough. So why am I doing this? Well, it's to try and desperately communicate with you that I'm doing my absolute best to just get through. When you see on Facebook, there's a post, Adrian's in Big House again, he's back in hospital. And, there'll be a bunch of comments. A whole stack of likes. And I know you're not liking it because you like the fact he's in that hospital. Can't tell you how isolated I feel when that's happening. And I know that's not fair. What do you say to someone whose kid's in ICU again? I know what I can say. I can say I know how it feels, but you can't say that. How can you help? I don't want people to be liking and sharing the stuff that I'm doing professionally, whether it's on the YouTube channel or it's on the blog. I don't want people doing that out of pity. That content needs to be good enough to succeed on its own merits. But if it's not good enough to succeed on its own merits, if it's not good enough to attract your interest or maintain your interest or whatever, or is that give me some feedback so I can improve it, so that it will be good enough to succeed on its own. That is one thing that you guys who know us, put aside what we're going through, help us to improve and just be better. That would be one thing that would be awesome. Another thing that is the Patreon campaign. Now, the last time I spoke about the Patreon campaign, promoted it like this, I got lectured by a number of people that, you know, I shouldn't be asking people for money and I should just go and get a job and whatever. Alright? They missed the point, because the Patreon campaign is not about the money. And we've got a number of people who are supporting us, like $5, $10, $20, even $50 a month. And we're incredibly grateful for those people, because some of those people don't have much money themselves, and they're contributing, well, what I would have thought is more than they can afford. And we're grateful for those people, because the money is useful. But if people are watching this, I would much, much rather 10 new supporters contributing $1 a month than one new supporter contributing $100 a month. And yes, I know the math, right? Because it's not about the money, it's about the number of people. The way these things work, the way social media works, the way the algorithms work, they're more concerned about the number of people rather than the dollars. How else can people help? Sarah and I, we feel so utterly alone most of the time. Sarah was in an event last week on Friday. Edward had just gone into hospital. He was in ICU, and that event, Sarah was that we've made a commitment to that, and we really feel that if it's at all possible, then she's going to be there, because she's got a role that she's doing there, and if it's possible, she's going to be there. But as she was leaving, a couple of people asked her how Edward was doing, and she said, "Oh well, he's in ICU, and the doctors are talking about palliative care." And she was leaving; she was rushing out the door because she had to go to the hospital. And that was it. Like, we've just had the whole weekend. She said that in front of a bunch of people. Not a phone call. Nothing. Not a Facebook message, not a phone call, nothing. Saturday we were feeling pretty lost, and so, like we do, we cope. And we said, well, what do we need? We need some fun. Well, let's have a barbecue. Let's invite some people around, and, you know, not talk about Edward, not talk about medical stuff, just enjoy some people's company. So we invited a bunch of people around, and some of them were able to come, and it was a great day. But Saturday night, Sunday, we're falling apart again. You know, Edward's been in hospital for the weekend. I haven't had to do anything really looking after him. Occasional, you know, run some stuff to the hospital. I'm knackered. I don't feel a bit rested. You know, this morning he's back on the ward, he's out. It's a good chance he's going to come home today after being on death's door over the weekend. And I don't feel any better than I did on Friday. Yet, we got to pick things up, and we got to keep moving. So what can people do? Drop us a line, come round for a coffee, invite me out to the pub. I don't know. We need people to do life with us, to come alongside us and be with us. So those of you watching this, some of you are all over the world. You know, a good number of you all over the country. Hardly any of you are local. Now I understand there's not much you can do. I get that. And one of the things we most need is for people to come alongside us and to to be with us through this journey. So there's not much you can do. For those of you down in Melbourne, I know it's a 2-hour trip up here. I understand you can't be here. Maybe occasionally, but not regularly. And for those of you, here in Bendigo, where we've just turned up. We just landed on you guys. There's this family with this massive medical issue with their son, a bunch of other kids. It's not that I expect you to just pick up and carry our load. It's that I don't know what else to do, and that we're sinking. I don't know if you guys think that, you hear about what we've been doing and going through with Aidwood over the last 9 years. You think, oh, well, they're coping well. You look at us and you see us coping. You see us getting through it. And that's what we do, because not coping is worse. And I don't know if you sort of, you hear that Aidwood's in hospital again, you hear he's in ICU again. We think, oh, geez, they do that well, and just they must be so, they're really in the groove, and I don't know, they're used to it or something. I don't know if that's what people think. Well, yeah, we're used to it, but you don't really get used to seeing your son stop breathing and turn blue. You don't get used to calling ambulances. You don't get used to the adrenaline spike every time his school calls. You don't get used to being in emergency again, being in ICU again, having doctors talk to you again about whether he's for full resus or not, or whether we should just, let him go. And so I'm doing this because I just don't know what else to do. I'm doing my best, and it's not good enough. And there'll be a bunch of people on this watching who see this video, and they'll be saying, "You're doing such a great job. You guys are awesome." Well, maybe we are awesome, but we're not awesome enough. And there might be a few other comments I can think of. People have said in the past, "Oh, look, I don't know how you guys cope." And well, we're not coping. Well, no, that's not true. We are coping. We are coping. But that's because not coping makes things worse. And the margin between coping and completely falling apart is getting... This morning it got to the line. In public, in front of a whole stack of people, I burst into tears. I can't even remember what it was the guy said to me that prompted it. So anyway, if I've offended people, I don't know what else to do. I really don't.